Welcome back to B&B for Phone, your ultimate source for the absolute juiciest daytime drama. Today is a spectacularly dramatic day to dive deep into the scandalous, backstabbing world of Los Angeles high fashion. Steffy Forrester Finnegan has finally dropped the hammer on Hope Logan. Word on the street, and heavily confirmed by the latest unfolding events, is that Steffy is officially using her immense co-CEO power to insist that Hope for the future must end. Can you believe it? After all the blood, sweat, tears, and undeniable profit Hope poured into that line over the years, Steffy is forcing her right out of her lifeline. And you won't believe what happens next. Despite Brooke Logan putting immense, desperate pressure on Ridge Forrester, even making that incredibly seductive, jaw-dropping offer we discussed recently to try and snatch the co-CEO spot for herself, Ridge ultimately sides with Steffy's ruthless business decisions. This completely shatters Hope's career at the company. It is an absolute bloodbath in the executive suite. But wait, the plot thickens considerably. We know Liam Spencer has been hovering around like a controlling hawk, practically begging Hope to jump ship. He wants her to leave the toxic wasteland of Forrester Creations and run straight into the arms of Katie Logan Spencer's new Logan Fashion House. Liam thinks he is the ultimate savior here. He sees Steffy's mistreatment of Hope and thinks the easy, painless fix is just walking away and starting over. But Hope is incredibly stubborn. She doesn't want to just be another Logan working under Katie's thumb, especially with Donna already warning Katie that poaching Hope will ignite a massive, ugly family feud with Brooke. Hope wants her own legacy. She wants hope for the future. She refuses to let Steffy win. And that is exactly where the most insane plot twist of the year might come into play. Do you think Thomas Forrester will return to remove Steffy and help Hope develop HFTF in The Bold and the Beautiful? Let's discuss whether this highly anticipated scenario will actually unfold, because my mind is completely spinning with the endless possibilities. That's right, we are talking about the prodigal son returning to Los Angeles to claim his rightful throne. We all know Thomas owns a very significant percentage of Forrester's shares. He isn't just a talented lead designer, he maintains his undeniable position as one of the legitimate, foundational owners of the fashion empire. If Thomas returns and uses those powerful shares to rip the CEO status right out of Steffy's hands, he could be the ultimate knight in shining armor for Hope. He could help her fashion line grow and dominate the market without any Logan involvement whatsoever. Amazing. Let's take a deep, psychological dive into the wonderfully twisted mind of Steffy Forrester Finnegan. I have a serious love-hate relationship with Steffy, and I know so many of you do too. On one hand, she is a fierce, unapologetic businesswoman who takes absolutely no prisoners. But on the other hand, her vendetta against the Logans borders on pathological. Steffy isn't just ending Hope for the future because of a few declining sales numbers. Let's be real. This is a deeply personal, vindictive strike aimed directly at Hope's heart. Steffy has always harbored deep-seated resentment toward Brooke and Hope for the decades of emotional trauma inflicted on her mother, Taylor Hayes. By crushing Hope's lifeline, Steffy is asserting absolute, terrifying dominance. She is telling Hope, "You only exist in this building because I allow it." It is a massive power trip, and honestly, it's incredibly toxic. Steffy is totally drunk on her co-CEO power, completely blind to the fact that she is alienating her own family in the process. And what about Ridge? Oh, Ridge Forrester, the eternal frustrating waffler. That's crazy how he can never just stand his ground without being manipulated by the powerful women in his life. Brooke literally offered herself up on a silver platter, using every ounce of her seductive charm to convince Ridge to replace Steffy with her as co-CEO. For a brief, tantalizing second there, Ridge was actually considering this shocking swap. But when push comes to shove, Ridge always defaults to his crushing guilt regarding his children with Taylor. By ultimately siding with Steffy's business decisions and letting Hope's career shatter into a million pieces, Ridge is proving his fatal flaw. He is a fundamentally weak leader. He chooses the path of least resistance. He knows Steffy would blow her top and declare World War III if he sided with Brooke, so he sacrifices Hope to keep the peace with his demanding daughter. It is a cowardly move, and it proves exactly why Forrester Creations desperately needs a massive leadership shakeup at the very top. Now, let's look at poor, devastated Hope Logan. My heart absolutely breaks for her, but I also want to shake her by the shoulders. Hope has spent years playing the sweet victim, constantly relying on Liam's interference or Brooke's manipulation to fight her battles. But this recent agonizing betrayal by Ridge might be the exact psychological catalyst she needs to finally snap. Hope's career is in ashes. Her mother's seductive manipulation completely failed. Liam is breathing down her neck with his controlling, "I told you so" attitude. Hope is backed into a dark corner, and a cornered animal is always the most dangerous. She refuses to go to the Logan fashion house because that would mean admitting total defeat. She wants to win on Forrester soil. She has poured her entire soul, her countless sleepless nights, and her very identity into Hope for the future. To have Steffy rip it away, with Ridge standing by and nodding along, is a trauma that will forever alter Hope's DNA. And this deep desperation is exactly why she would welcome Thomas Forrester back with wide open arms. She doesn't just need a designer anymore, she needs a weapon. And Thomas is the ultimate lethal weapon against Steffy. Enter Thomas Forrester, the man, the myth, the absolute wild card. Thomas has evolved so much over the years, hasn't he? He went from a deeply disturbed, obsessive stalker to a genuinely talented and empowered businessman. But let's not kid ourselves. Thomas still has a massive, fragile ego and a desperate need to be validated as the hero. If he hears from afar that his sister has completely destroyed the career of the woman he has loved for years, what do you think he will do? Thomas will see this as the absolute perfect opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. He can swoop in and rescue Hope, proving once and for all that he is her true savior, and he can finally put his bossy, overbearing sister in her place. Thomas has always felt overshadowed by Steffy's untouchable golden child status. Using his shares to overthrow her would be the ultimate delicious revenge. Can you just imagine the sheer, heart-pounding suspense of this impending boardroom scene? Picture this. Steffy is sitting at the head of the long mahogany table, gloating over the termination of Hope for the future. Ridge is looking down, guiltily avoiding eye contact with a furiously weeping Brooke. Hope is packing up her beloved sketches, feeling completely defeated. And then, the heavy oak doors of the executive suite swing wide open. In walks Thomas Forrester, looking sharper, wealthier, and more confident than ever before. He doesn't even look at his father. He looks dead at Steffy, flashes a wicked smile, and slides a thick legal document across the table. It's a hostile takeover, fueled entirely by his legitimate ownership shares. He announces to the room that he is taking over the CEO position and that Hope for the future is immediately reinstated under his direct protection. That would be the most epic, unforgettable plot twist in daytime television history. The dynamic between Thomas and Steffy would instantly become the hottest, most explosive storyline on the show. These successor characters have always had a highly complicated alliance, mostly bonded by their shared childhood trauma and their mutual desire to see their parents reunite. But when cold, hard business and ultimate power are on the line, the Forrester siblings are absolutely ruthless. Steffi would view Thomas's return as a massive, unforgivable betrayal of their bloodline. She would scream and accuse him of being manipulated by a Logan yet again. But here's the surprise. Thomas wouldn't care. For the first time in his life, Thomas wouldn't be acting out of crazy romantic obsession. He would be acting out of cold, calculated business acumen. He knows Hope's line makes incredible money when he designs for it. He knows Steffi's decision is based entirely on personal spite, not financial reality. He would be the voice of reason wrapped in a villain's smirk. And we absolutely cannot ignore how this monumental shift will completely shatter Liam Spencer's mind. Liam's entire strategy right now relies heavily on Hope being broken, exhausted, and defeated so he can easily guide her to Katie's company. Liam desperately wants to be the one pulling Hope's strings and playing the hero. If Thomas swoops in, saves the day, and elevates Hope to an untouchable, powerful status at Forrester Creations, Liam will completely lose his mind. He already hates Thomas with a burning, fiery passion. Seeing Hope and Thomas working intimately side by side, totally independent of the Logan family's charity, will drive Liam insane with jealousy. He will constantly question Hope's motives, agonizing over whether she is falling back in love with her former tormentor. And honestly, who could blame her if she did? Thomas stepping up like a protective boss is highly attractive. This massive power shift would also send devastating shockwaves through Brooke and Ridge's fragile relationship. Brooke just humiliated herself by offering Ridge a seductive bribe for the CEO spot, only for Ridge to reject it and side with his daughter. Brooke is going to be absolutely furious with her so-called destiny. But if Thomas takes over and saves Hope's career, Brooke will be put in an impossible, hilarious position. She hates Thomas. She has never, ever trusted him around her precious daughter. Yet Thomas would be the only person actually protecting Hope's legacy while Ridge cowardly stood by and let Steffi destroy it. Brooke would have to swallow her immense pride and actually thank Thomas Forrester. Can you even imagine the pained look on Brooke's face, having to express genuine gratitude to the man she has despised for years? It's pure daytime gold. Developing Hope for the future without the Logan involvement is exactly what Hope needs for her ultimate character growth. For way too long, she has been defined by her mother's messy legacy and her own chaotic love triangles. By aligning with Thomas in a strictly business, high-stakes corporate war, Hope transforms from a weeping damsel in distress into a ruthless, independent fashion mogul. She and Thomas could completely rebrand the line, making it edgier, darker, and more wildly successful than Steffi's wildest dreams. They would prove to the world that they are the true future of Forrester Creations, leaving a stunned Steffi and a regretful Ridge in the dust. The slow-paced plot we've been enduring lately would instantly vanish, replaced by high-octane, cutthroat corporate warfare. So, my amazing B and B for phone family, I throw the question back to you. Do you think the story of Thomas returning and vying for the CEO position will actually happen? Will he use his powerful shares to overthrow Steffi and save Hope's shattered career? Or will Steffi's iron grip on Forrester Creations prove too incredibly strong even for her own brother to break? I personally am praying for Thomas to return and shake things up because this current dynamic is just too depressing for Hope. Let's discuss it. Drop your wildest theories and boldest predictions in the comments below. Do you love the thrilling idea of CEO Thomas, or do you hate it? Sound off, and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an update on all things bold and the beautiful. Until next time, stay dramatic.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.